Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video, we're going to be going over how to build the perfect, in my opinion, Honda Civic 8th generation. For anyone wondering, right at the very beginning of this video, this applies specifically for the sedan, but whether it's the SI, DX, EX, whatever, that doesn't really matter. And most of these mods are universal with the coupe as well. Just some of them, you might need to look for specifically the coupe version of it, just to be sure. Alright, but yeah, how to build the perfect 8th generation Honda Civic. In my opinion, the way these videos work is we go over all the pricing of everything. So first we go over all the exterior mods I would do, and then the total of the exterior mods in terms of price, then interior, then performance, and then at the end of the video I tell you the entire grand total of the car, of the perfect, in my opinion, street car 8th gen Civic build. Okay, I want to make that crystal clear that this is not leading in any one sort of direction. So if you're strictly going for a time attack build or a drag racing build, this video might not be for you. This is just a good street car start that's going to be fun, cool, but not like horribly unreliable and undrivable on the streets. Alright, without further, media of the day, almost forgot the media of the day. It's called In Your Head by Cloudy Field. It's like a rock song. It gives off like Evanescence vibes. If you ever heard Evanescence, it sounds a lot like that, and it's so good. It's so good. Makes me want to like go die in a field somewhere after fighting somebody in a medieval combat. It's just awesome. Such a good song. But without further ado, let's right into it with how to build the perfect 8th generation Honda Civic. Before we actually get into the video, I did forget to mention two small little things real quick. First off, huge shout out to Alex Martini for the idea. He did this whole series on his own channel, and I kind of got the idea off him, stole the idea off him, if you will. So shout out to him, great YouTuber. And second, all the pricing for today's list is implying that you are going to do the work yourself, unless I say otherwise. If you plan on having a professional install it, no judgment here, but just expect to pay literally double to triple the cost of the entire build, because obviously that costs a whole lot more money. So all the prices for today's video and for all the how to build videos are implying that you yourself are going to do all the modifications. All right, either way, let's get into it. In order to first start modifying our Honda Civic 8th generation, we first obviously have to buy a Honda Civic 8th generation. So the cost of a Honda Civic 8th gen, in my opinion, is right around $5,000. I'm gonna go with a $5,000 budget. There are definitely cheaper 8th gen Civics out there, but there are also more expensive ones. So I think 5K is a good starting point for the cost of it. But without further ado, let's right into the exterior mods. I'm a big old ricer pants, so I like to make my cars look incredible. So usually the exteriors we go a little bit crazy with, and that's what we're gonna do. First off would be the Mugen style front lip for $130. All it does is just add a nice little front lip to the front of on the bottom of the bumper there. It makes it look like the Mugen front bumper, and Mugen just chef's kiss. Mugen knows exactly what they're doing when it comes to Hondas. Next up is the red badges, the red Honda badges. Iconic, man. I feel like every Honda should have red Honda badges. $50 if you buy them, but I've seen people that do them themselves, and all they have to do is just cut out a piece of red vinyl, put it on the back of their badge, and then that's it. That's obviously like free pretty much, but if you want like the actual badges, $50, dirt cheap, and every Honda needs them. Next up would be the Mugen style side skirts for $120. Yeah, just again, Mugen in my opinion makes the perfect body kits for Hondas, especially with the 8th generation. So 100% we would go with the Mugen side skirts as well. However, next up would be the rear diffuser, and I would go with the Icon Motorsports rear diffuser for $240. A little bit more expensive than the side skirts and the front lip, but not that bad anyways. Like $240 for a diffuser ain't nothing. And this actually isn't a Mugen style diffuser. It's not a Mugen style rear lip or whatever, because I actually think this looks better. I really enjoy this rear diffuser. This rear diffuser looks very, very nice, and I think it would work really well with the Mugen side skirts and front lip as well. So I'd rock that. But back to Mugen real quick, because next up would be the Mugen trunk spoiler for $90. I don't know why it's called the trunk spoiler when it's just a regular spoiler. I guess, yeah, it does go on the trunk, but still, it's the Honda spoiler, man. We all know what the Honda spoiler is, the big curved one that comes up. I love them. My Integra has one. I feel like every Honda guy puts it on because it looks good. It looks good on Hondas. I don't know why, it just works. And for $90 freaking, I mean, you're not getting much better than that. Next up would be the black roof wrap. I would wrap the roof black. This is okay, so this one would cost like around, it really depends, because you have to buy the wrap itself. If you buy the wrap and do it yourself, that's going to be like literally only like $200. Like it's dirt cheap. But if you buy the wrap and then have somebody professionally install it, which you probably should, because it's very hard to wrap things, it's going to be around $700. Now again, if you get one without a sunroof, it's very easy, and I feel like actually wrapping a roof would probably be like the best way to learn how to wrap things, because it's so flat and easy to do. But with the sunroof, I would recommend bringing it to a professional, which then it would be more money. So if you do have, pretty much what I'm saying is, if you have a sunroof, probably stay away from wrapping the roof black. But if you don't have a sunroof, buy some black vinyl and try to wrap it yourself. If it doesn't go wrong, who cares? You've only lost $200, you know what I mean? Next up is the actual color of the car itself. I would want to wrap the car red, and when I did that with my Integra, I got the wrap for free due to a sponsorship thing, but it would have costed, sorry for my phone ringing, of course that happens, but it would have costed me around $1,000 if I wanted to buy it myself, buy a Luco vinyl. And then I brought it to a guy who wrapped the car for me. I did not do it myself, God no, and he charged me $1,000 for the labor. That's very cheap, to be fair, but again, you got to do what you got to do if you're trying to save money, man. You gotta try and find those deals. And so I'm gonna go with $2,000 total for the red wrap. If you want to wrap the car red, I want to wrap the car red. I think red Hondas perfect. I think they're so perfect, as a matter of fact, that I did it myself. My Integra's red. I just think they work really well. So yeah, I would absolutely I would rock with the red wrap for $2,000. Think, yeah, it's expensive, but I mean, you're changing the whole color of the car. Next up would be the Spoiler King roof spoiler for $130. I said this in the Kia Stinger video, but some cars look good with roof spoiler, some cars don't. I think this one is one of the ones that do, and so I would add a roof spoiler on it. I think it looks nice. Only $130. If you don't like it, you could just take it off. It doesn't damage the paint or anything, because it goes on the window. It's a nice mod. And finally, for the exterior mods would be, of course, the window tints for around $500 every time I've ever gotten my windows tinted. It's costed around $500 professionally done. And again, it's another one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could save a whole lot of money if you don't bring it to a professional and you just do it yourself. But I've seen a ton of people that say, oh, I could just do it myself. I'll just do it myself. And then they try to tint their own windows and they look horrible and absolutely trash. And then they just wasted their money rather than just bring it to a professional. You cough up a little bit extra dough, and now it's going to last you for a very long time. And the quality is very, very high. I would recommend bringing it to professional 100% when it comes to window tints. And obviously the price for window tints does range depending on the professional you go to, but for me, again, and everybody I know, it's always been around that $500 mark, which, by the way, gives us a total for all the exterior mods of $3,960. Obviously the majority of that, over half of that, is the wrap though. So if you somehow manage to get a Civic that you like the paint on already, or it already is red, or whatever it may be, and you don't want to change the color of it, then you can save $2,000 there. So yeah, almost $2,000 without the wrap, almost $4,000 with the wrap. But now we are into the interior mods. Interior crocodile alligator. I don't really put too much time and effort into my interior mods personally, but if I was building the perfect one, this is what I would do. First off would be the short throw shifter for $50. It's $50, dude, and it immediately makes your car just feel so much faster. You just feel like a beast with a short throw shifter. They're incredible. $50, buy it. Next up would be the Mishimoto shift knob for $50. Again, it's $50. I feel like for a nice little shift knob, I've always rocked with the Mishimoto, that's why I'm saying it, not sponsored, but I've always loved the Mishimoto shift knobs. I don't know why, they're just like the perfect shape. They're simple, but you can change the color to match whatever you want it to do. I like Mishimoto. I've had it on every single one of mine. For the shift knobs, I would go with that for $50. Next up would be the red floor mats for $100. I feel like red floor mats just go good with any car. Like, unless the car is like blue or something, like if it's not white, silver, gray, or black, maybe, or red, maybe don't put the red floor mats on there, but other than that, I think they're awesome. Next up would be the quick release steering wheel and hub. Obviously, you have to, if you can't just buy a quick release steering wheel or a quick release hub without the other one, so you have to buy them at the same time. And if you do, it's going to be around $300 for like the NRG ones. I've heard complaints about the NRG ones not being the highest quality or whatnot, and them breaking when they get into a big like impact or whatever. But I'm going to be honest, man, isn't that kind of what you want? I mean, like, you're getting into an accident. If you get into an accident with a quick release steering wheel and hub, you obviously have no more airbag, and so your head's gonna bang into the steering wheel, which is obviously dangerous. It's really baller though, so that's why I'm recommending it. But if you bang your head into the steering wheel, don't you want the steering wheel to break? Like, why would you not want it to break apart? Because then at least it doesn't like give you a concussion, you know, or just kill you. So yeah, either way, quick release steering wheel and hub, they're obviously cool. I like them. $300. Drive safe though with one. Next up would be the NRG Type R red seats for $350 for the pair of them. This was surprising as hell. NRG does make some cheaper stuff for sure, and so I mean it's not that crazy, but still $350 for a pair of seats that are nice. They look really nice. I mean, I'd rock them, man. With red seats, ooh, that'd be nice. Next up would be, of course, Apple CarPlay. These are a little bit older cars, made around the late 2000s there, so it would be good to upgrade your sound system there. And for Apple CarPlay, $200, it makes a big difference. Apple CarPlay is a life changer. Everyone, even people that aren't really into cars, put Apple CarPlay in their car because it just makes the owning experience of that car just 10 times better. So yeah. And finally, for the interior mods would be the starry headliner and black spray painting the headliner black as well, for around $200 total for that. Spraying it black would cost literally pretty much 20 bucks if you just buy the spray paint, so that's not really included. But the starry headliner itself is around $200. It's a tedious job, but again, I've said it in the Kia Stinger video, I really do enjoy the starry headliners. If they're done well, I think they look really, really nice. It is making it more luxurious. There are some 8th gen Civics that come stock with a black roof anyway, so you might not have to do this, by the way, but I'm just doing that in case you have like a gray interior. I think it would look better with the black roof with the starry headliner, otherwise it just kind of looks weird. But yeah, 200 bucks, I think that's great. The price of it is dirt cheap, but the problem with the starry headliner stuff is the labor. If you're doing this yourself, just expect it to be a lot harder than you expect it to be. Like every person that's ever done a starry headliner will tell you that it's way more tedious and time consuming than they think it's going to be. I just now realized I totally forgot to say what the grand total of the interior was. I just ended the clip right there. Well, the grand total of the interior is $1,250. All right, that's not bad for like a really nice interior. That's pretty good to me. But now we're into the performance mods. Performance, obviously the ones that usually end up to take up the most amount of cost, because you don't really want to cheap out on performance stuff. First off, for the performance, I say that and then immediately we're cheaping out on the performance stuff, because we're going to go with the max speeding rods coilovers for $270. I understand max speeding rods gets an interesting rep and everything like that, and there are definitely, it's a very controversial company. I have had max speeding rods on every car I've owned, every one of them, and they have held up perfectly fine with no complaints from me. The only complaint I had was on my 350Z. The back left one ended up going out after like 2 years, but that's kind of normal, honestly, especially daily driving a car. Like, it's not that crazy, and for 270 bucks you can't really complain. I would go with the max speeding rod coilovers. They're cheap, and again, this is a street car. You're not trying to make it like a race car or whatever. Next up would be the Flash Arc catback exhaust. I've never heard of this company before. Flash Arc. I don't know too much about them. I don't know if they're very reputable, so I do apologize if they're not, but for a catback exhaust, they're charging 180 bucks. That's very, very cheap. Now, the labor, again, it's like the starry headliner. The labor behind putting on a catback exhaust, it's not fun. Exhaust work is just, there's a reason why there's entire shops dedicated to exhaust work alone, because no one wants to do it, because it sucks. But once you do, obviously, a catback exhaust, we say this on every video, it's a win-win situation. Not only does it make your car sound cool, which everybody likes, it is a Honda though, so how cool can it really sound? Ooh, burn. I have a Honda myself, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. But, it'll sound a little bit cooler, and on top of that, obviously, it increases airflow. It gives you a little bit extra horsepower gains. It's overall just a bonus. I think every guy that's modifying their car should obviously put an exhaust on it. Next up will be the K&N cold air intake kit for $370. Pretty expensive, I'm going to be honest, for a cold air intake, but it is K&N, so I mean, I guess K&N is, they're a pretty quality brand, I guess. But yeah, I mean, 400 bucks for a cold air intake, extra horsepower, and it makes that nice noise. I like it. All right, next up will be the red valve cover for 50 bucks. Technically, this isn't really performance, because you're just painting the valve cover red, or you're buying a red one. That's what I put here, by the way. Buying the red one would be around 50 bucks. If you just want to paint it yourself, obviously, again, like 20 bucks, it's a lot cheaper. But yeah, it's not really a performance mod. It doesn't actually like increase horsepower or whatever. It just is in the engine, makes it look faster. So I'm gonna add it as a performance mod. Next up will be a very big performance mod though, the CX Racing Turbo Kit for $1,500. The 8th gen Civics have K series in them, at least the SIs do. If you're not turbo in a K series, what are you doing? They're more reliable with the turbo. Not really, but that was a joke, but they're very reliable. They're very reliable when you turbo them. So I would absolutely cough up the dough for a CX Racing Turbo Kit. For $1,500, it's obviously pretty expensive, but not really that bad for a full-blown turbo kit. And at that point, your car is completely changed. Like it's so much more fun, so much more enjoyable with the CX Racing Turbo Kit on it. It's a Honda. You gotta turbo it. Next up would be tuning the car. Obviously, if you get a turbo kit on there and a cold air intake and a catback exhaust and just other mods you're going to need to tune the car. So for a tune, it's around 500 bucks. Now Hondas could be even cheaper than that. There are some that are more expensive, like higher end cars, but there are dudes out there. I mean, there was a guy who was tuning my buddy's Honda for like 100 bucks, literally $100 he would tune his Honda, and it worked out great. So I'm gonna do 500 for like an average on the tune, because again, it really depends on where you go, but you kind of need it if you're going to do all that stuff. And next up would be the wheels, of course. I went with JNC 014 white wheels for $1,000. These are the exact wheels I had on my Integra before they popped, and I destroyed them accidentally because I drove on them when they were popped for like 10 feet, and it just immediately chipped them all up. For $1,000 for a set of 4 of them, I think they look incredible. They're TE37 reps, let's be honest with ourselves here, but they look good. I like them a lot, and yeah, for $1,000 you can't really beat it. And finally, obviously, if you're going to get wheels, you also got to get tires to match that. So I'm going to put $1,000 down for the tires. Again, there are definitely tires out there that like Toyo Proxy R888s, where if you're going to be on the track a lot more and time attacking and stuff like that, you're going to want to cough up a little bit extra dough for the tires. But for the average person just looking for regular you know, just a normal daily driver tires, $1,000 for a set of 4 of them is totally normal, which by the way gives us a grand total for the interior of $4,870. So almost $5,000 for the performance mods. I just said interior earlier, I meant performance. But yeah, almost $5,000 for the performance mods, which is the most expensive of all the 3 categories here. But obviously that kind of makes the most amount of sense. You know, the performance is where most car guys are going to spend the most amount of their money. A lot of like exterior mods and interior mods are dirt cheap. They're not expensive at all because they're easy to make. It doesn't matter. The performance, it really does matter. And so yeah, for $5,000 for like a really, like at this point it's gonna be super fun to drive too. Like I think it's perfect, which by the way gives us a grand total of the exterior mods. So let's go over everything. So the cost of the car, we bought the Civic for $5,000. All the exterior mods were $3,960. All the interior mods was $1,250, and all the performance mods were $4,870, which gives us a grand total of $15,080. Not bad, dude. Not bad. Now, $15,000 for a almost 20-year-old Civic at this point may sound a little bit crazy, but I mean, it's not just a 20-year-old Civic at this point. If you're putting $15,000 into the car, you have a really cool, very comfortable to drive, well, not comfortable to drive, but like personalized car that's also extremely fun to drive and still is extremely reliable, can get you to work on time and back for $15,000, man. I think that's damn near perfect, and I think you're gonna be really happy with a car like this. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on how to build the perfect 8th generation Honda Civic. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what views like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels when you have that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video is, I'm not going to say what tomorrow's video is. Tomorrow's video is a surprise. It's going to be a big one though, so get your popcorn ready. Go pre-order your popcorn for tomorrow because it's going to be a big video. It's going to be over an hour long, but I'm excited to make it. It's going to be fun. And then after that, obviously, will be the next how to build series, which I think I'm going to do it on the 3rd gen Acura TL or the C7 Corvette. Those are the cars that got recommended in the last how to build series, the Kia Stinger GT video. Those 2 cars were recommended to me, and so I might do it on one of those, but I'm always open for suggestions on what you guys would like to see me build next. I love this series, man. You guys seem to love it as well, and it's a nice change up because I've done a lot of good, bad, and uglies in my day, and I'm kind of a little bit bored on the good, bad, and uglies. But this is like talking about a certain car while also, you know, building it up and talking about the fun parts of owning that car, which I think is cool. So I like the series a lot. I hope you guys are still enjoying it, and let me know what other cars you'd like to see me build in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.